7:13 Sunday morning, time to talk tech with our tech expert, Chris Abel. And it is all about the Olympics to start. Good morning to you, Chris Abel.
Good morning. I'm happy to enjoy my weekend with you.
As always, we've been talking about it quite a bit on the show this morning. There's been so much controversy back and forth if the Canadians were cheating at curling, and everyone's talking about how you can check on fairness. Well, it turns out right now that there are A-powered systems using 8K cameras that are zooming in to help sort of clear all of this up. So what exactly are we talking about? Is this a first for the Olympics?
It is. So this is new technology being tested out for the Winter Olympics. It's funny, my whole career, every time I talk about tech and Olympics, it's the Winter Olympics. And I've realized that's when they test out the new technology. The summer ones, no, we don't want to wait. It's too important to test it for the summer. So for the winter, they try it out. This is about redefining what a photo finish is. It's no longer taking one photograph at the finish line to determine the winner. Now you have artificial intelligence-powered cameras shooting 40,000 images per second.
Wow.
And when you have an array of those cameras all surrounding an area, you can combine those photographs to create a highly 3D detailed image. So it's no longer just about the finish line where skiers and bobsledders are crossing. Now they can capture the movements of figure skaters. And so get this, when a figure skater performs, they can measure the exact angle that the skater's blade is on the ice.
Wow.
So when you're taking a look at two performances, you know one's doing a more perfect pose than the others. Or doing a spin, they can tell you when one figure skater is only doing 359 degrees instead of 360 degrees.
As if the pressure wasn't high enough on the athletes, Chris. So that is nuts. Okay, so it's the test phase for now, and then they'll roll it out when? For the summer games, you think, or?
It's supposed to be rolling out during this winter.
Okay.
We're testing it out for this winter, and then, if it turns out to be working, then we'll see it in the Summer Olympics.
Okay, let's talk about this Honda recall and the error behind it, a factory robot error behind it.
It's a brand new error that's ever happened, and it's a funny one. It all stems down to the fact that on an assembly line, they have robots that are powered by artificial intelligence. So you have robots that are thinking robots. And so one robot is on the assembly line. The robot ahead tightens up all the bolts on the right side of the driver's seat. When it comes to him, he has to tighten up all the bolts on the left side of the driver's seat. What happened is this robot just suddenly didn't feel like it. And went, what? I don't feel like tightening bolts. I'm going to loosen bolts. So it loosened all the bolts done by the previous robot, and then kept doing this. And so you had this assembly line of cars coming off that had loose driver's seats. In fact, they were being shipped out to all the dealers. You had both Honda Accords as well as Honda Acuras and two other makes and models. Now, the good news is...
Yeah, I'm waiting for the good news, Chris, because this is frightening.
Honda caught the problem before any models were sold. So the recall that's been sent out, that's been to dealers saying, hey, ship those back so that we can, at least tighten the seats back and send them back to you. But this is a new type of error. Whenever there's usually a recall, the main reason has to be usually a design flaw, that they have to change a part out. Or it's sometimes happens that there might be a mechanical issue on the assembly line. This is the very first time that they have to deal with the fact that a robot just made a different decision.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it one bit. I don't like when you said it didn't feel like it. I don't want my robots to feel. Okay, sticking to the robots though, a humanoid has had a go at its own version of an Olympic logo.
So this comes from Unitree, which is one of the leading humanoid robot makers in China. Their robot called the G1, they shipped it off to way northern China. So it's landing in a place where you got these long plains that are surrounded by beautiful mountains. And they found an area that was untouched, beautiful snow. And then they programmed it to go off and stomp its feet back and forth through the snow until it could actually stomp out the entire Winter Olympics logo. It took it 130,000 footsteps through the snow. Now, the reason they did this was to prove, number one, the robot could handle extreme weather. This was out in minus 53 degree Fahrenheit conditions. And number two, walking, of course, has always been the thing you have to prove with humanoid robots, that the fact that it could walk through such thick snow, they felt could show off that, yes, the G1 is quite capable. Now, what they haven't said, and I'm going to assume that this very remote, isolated Arctic spot that they found must surely be under the flight paths of passenger airplanes, because who else is going to see this?
That's true. That's true. And it took the directions well, this one. Chris Abel.
130,000 steps. That's a really good workout.
It is a very, very good workout. Chris Abel, at The Real Chris Abel on Instagram with a K. Follow along on his adventures. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, always. Thank you.